Key, let's talk about it. Sunday Night Football, as I mentioned, Buffalo wins. They've got a 99% chance to win the AFC East. It would be their first division title in a quarter century. But I want to focus on the other team just for a moment. Not a Buffalo buzzkill at all. But Pittsburgh actually backed their way into the playoffs yesterday, if there's such a thing at backing in at 11-2. They actually got into the postseason before they took the field Sunday night. They dropped their second in a row, and I gave you all those numbers, 99, 100. By the way, Stephon Diggs has 100 catches this year. Don't scale it from 0 to 100. Scale it from 1 to 10. Your level of concern for the Pittsburgh Steelers after their second straight shaky performance.
Well, there is some concern, Zubin. I think when you look at where they're at, where they started at, they were an 11-0 football team. They've lost 2 straight games now. And so as you start to think about moving forward, they've got to figure out what that running game is about. Like, they need some help in terms of running the football. Defensively, I think they held up as best they could. But from an offensive standpoint, Ben Roethlisberger cannot be Big Ben if they don't have a running game to match the passing game. I think when you look at Washington and you look at Johnson and Juju and Claypool, yes, they're young, dynamic receivers, but if they don't have a running game to match the style of which they want to play, then this is going to be very difficult for them to be able to move forward come playoff time. Right now, it's sitting at 11-2 with 2 straight losses. A lot of people are not starting to say now, taking them out of the conversation as the second best team in the AFC. There's a team in Buffalo which they played. There's a Tennessee Titan team. And oh, by the way, there's the Indianapolis Colts with a resurgence at quarterback in Phillip Rivers. So as you start to look at where they're at, it's just, and I know Mike Tomlin wants to run the ball, and he's going to try to certainly get it fixed, but they better hurry up and fix it before it's too late.
Key, I'll say this. We should start throwing the Browns in that conversation, too. We'll get a chance to see them tonight and how they perform if Baker Mayfield continues to play at that high level. But I walked away last night thinking that the Bills were the second best team in the AFC. And just to finish off the comments that Key said about the Steelers and their running game, they rushed for 47 yards. 47 yards. The game against the Washington football team, they rushed for 21 yards. Look, one of the things I think that made Tampa Bay look better the other day is that they actually were able to stick to the ground game and they allowed play action. And I think when you can't do that for Big Ben, then it makes him very one-dimensional. And look, let's be honest about it. Big Ben is an immobile quarterback. He can't move in the pocket and do those things. He needs play action. He needs the run game to help take this team to the next level. I think their defense is still good, but their offense just struggles. I don't think they're still kind of in that top tier, but I don't see them as a Super Bowl contender.
The work that Josh Allen has done and the improvements he's made, I've mentioned Stephon Diggs last night with a bunch of great catches. He's now got 100 grabs. That leads the NFL. If he catches one more ball this year, it'll be the Bills' single-season record. I'm sure you remember the guy that set the mark, the great Eric Moulds. It seems hard to believe this guy has never made the Pro Bowl, Stephon Diggs. How much, and I'm not taking anything away from Allen and the work that he's put in year to year, but how much of his success can be put on the one guy, maybe the biggest offseason acquisition for any team at that position?
Well, I think Brandon Beane, general manager of the Buffalo Bills, got it right. When he made the decision to trade for Stephon Diggs, it was the right thing to do. You got a young quarterback, and I always say you always want to have a young quarterback with a dynamic receiver opposite him. In terms of the Pro Bowl, whatever. I mean, that thing is watered down nowadays anyway. I think when you look at some of the NFC guys and the Julio Joneses and the Michael Thomases and the Larry Fitzgeralds, guys that have consistently gone to the Pro Bowl out of that particular conference, it was going to be very tough for Stephon Diggs to get to the Pro Bowl. Now that he's in AFC side, it's a little easier. The deck is not as stacked. So, he'll get his opportunity to, as we like to say, or we used to like to say when it was in Hawaii, to eat pineapple. And so I think that'll happen for him at some point in time, and he'll probably get his first nod this year, although the game will not be played.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.